Hey guys, welcome to Alley Oop, a series for women in basketball by Ontario Basketball. I'm Savannah Hamilton. I have the pleasure of guest hosting for you guys today. I'm a producer and host at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. And today joining us is Jessica Roque. Now, she's a former NCAA player herself. She played at Cleveland State University, and she also spent 1 year assistant coaching there before coming to Ryerson University, where she actually assistant coached me, myself, and we spent tons of time in the gym together. So I'm very excited to get to pick her story apart and really get to know her and her journey as well. And so without further ado, Jess, please come on the show.
Hey,
there
Sam.
she is. Did I do your bio justice? Do you want to fill in any blanks there?
No. I actually feel quite honored that you did the intro there, because it's weird and surreal seeing you and your profession fully realized. Knowing that I've coached you and then now have you interview me, it's like everything's coming full circle. So I'm very humbled and honored.
Oh, I know it's like pretty surreal, because I mean, you supported me so much when I was at Ryerson, and now seeing you as the head coach of the University of Waterloo, I'm just like such a natural fit. I'm so excited for you and like with the season. And you also got this like in a pandemic. So I feel like that's been the key word this entire past year. In a pandemic. Like yeah, like it adds a little gloss to it.
For sure.
Let's get to it, because we are tight for time, as you do have a practice to attend. But like let's dive into your journey. We're both from Mississauga, Sauga City. What up? You started playing there as a kid. What has your experiences have been there like? And then going into post-secondary, as well as your experiences now coaching. But start us off from where you started back in Mississauga.
Yes, back in the Sauga City days. I actually started playing house league in the Filipino league. So my brother. For those of you that don't know, I'm half Filipino. My dad's from the Philippines, and my brother started playing with a friend of his, and then soon it became my cousins, and everyone was playing. And at first I was a bit reluctant. As an 8-year-old, I was like, "Mom, I have too much homework. I don't have time for basketball." And as soon as I saw how much fun my cousins and my siblings were having, I was like, okay, I got to see what this is about. And so it was like halfway through the season, and my mom just like threw me in on a team, and I mean, I guess the rest is history from there. But I really started out in the Filipino community, and just was like a cultural weekend thing that we did as a family, and then it kind of just grew from there. I went to Father Michael Gates secondary school, and great sporting culture has produced a lot of pro athletes from that high school, and really just grew my love for the game, and early mornings, late practices after school, and that I should mention I do have a twin sister, so having a lifelong training partner helped cultivate my basketball journey. Both of us went on full scholarship to Cleveland State, as you mentioned earlier, and then had a lot of success there. So that's the short version of it, but I like to keep it short.
Well, like it's interesting, because from like my perspective, obviously you're a few years ahead of me and when it came to playing on the court, but you were actually very similar age to when you did coach us at Ryerson, which is interesting, because with Father Gates, you mentioned that they were so dominant in basketball in Mississauga, because when I was at Campion, like I remember, like I think it was my grade 9 and grade 10 year, they actually took us out of ROSA finals. And I was like, So when you told me you were from Michael Gates or Father Gates, I was like,
That's okay. There's some, yeah, you know the history, then the deep roots that go there.
Absolutely. So did you ever, when you were a player, take us through? Okay, one, what's your position? I'm going to assume it's a point guard, given your height.
Yeah, well, so my sister's a bit smaller than me, so I was like a combo guard, like a 1-2, just because I felt like she ran the point better than I did, but we kind of shared that that role and responsibility on all the teams we were a part of.
So then, take us through, did you, as a point guard, because I find that the transition from point guard to coaching is pretty common. Did you ever picture yourself coaching when you were a player?
Yeah, not at all, actually. And it's a funny story. I feel like I've shared, I guess, more recently now, and just this journey to becoming a head coach. But I think the first time I maybe considered it was when I was going through my ACL injuries in high school, and my club coach was saying to me, like, this is going to be great. You can, watch the game from the sidelines and really get like a coach's view and understanding of how the game is played. But, I was 16 at the time, and I was like not trying to hear that. I just wanted to play. And then fast forward to university and seeing, my coaches and the lifestyles that they were living, and, the things they were doing day in and day out, recruiting, back on the road, recruiting. Like, I felt like their basketball lives never stopped. And at the time I was still like trying to pursue, I thought I wanted to be a physio. And I was like, that life's not for me. Like, I want a nice 9 to 5. I get my vacation. And so, yeah, I never actually saw myself as a coach, but little did I know that the things I was doing then helped prepare me to where I am now.
So then where was the flip of the switch? Like, when it was like, okay, maybe I'll give this a shot.
Honestly, it was just different events and opportunities that arose, and me being in the right place at the right time and capitalizing on them. So, I mean, I came back, I was a grad assistant at Cleveland State, and I came back to do the master's in Canada. Second master's, sorry. And
second master's, no big deal.
No, yeah, no big deal. But a friend of mine, got a coaching job at a club, and was like, hey, it's a really great facility. You should come check it out. And so I started doing some like skill training and strength and conditioning there while I was in grad school. And then grad school was becoming really, really tough and demanding on me. And I'm not ashamed to say this because I know it's part of my journey, but I actually flunked out of my second master's program. But the same week that, I was going through all of this struggle, my old coach called me and it was like, hey, Jess, you were a grad assistant for us and we have a position open on our staff. Would you like the position? And she didn't know, like, I had just, flunked out of grad school. And I just thought the timing of it was, I mean, you could look at it as convenient, but it was really just an opportunity that it presented itself. And so I took it, but that first year was even more of a struggle because I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea what I was doing. But in immersing myself and I guess taking that leap of faith, I ended up finding something that felt right to me. And so I just decided to keep rolling with it.
I love how you took a negative, and even though it's indirect, it still turned out to be a positive in the end, where you were able to now get that foot in the door for coaching.
For sure. I mean, like, that's definitely the lens that I took to it. And like I said, that first year coaching wasn't easy, but what made me stick with it was knowing that I could be good at it, and then just knowing how much I love the game. And then, fast forward to my Ryerson days, and like you were a big part of that experimental phase for me and as a young coach. And I think when you love something, you're willing to oversee kind of the icky parts of it, and hopefully come to a space where you can be surrounded by the things that you enjoy and people that you love. And that's what I found for myself. And then from there, I just kind of like blossomed my coaching career. And I was like, I can see myself doing this for a long, long time.
I love that because I remember when you first came in, because you came in about halfway through my career at Ryerson, and you were just like the spark of energy. You were like, let's do yoga at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, no. But you got some.
Some of y'all did it. Some of y'all did it.
Yeah, Emma did it. She did it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you were that energy, and you did spend the extra time with us athletes. Me in particular, having so many injuries, especially knee injuries. You really taught me how to balance, and like you came from like that perspective of like almost like kinesiology. Like you actually knew physically how to move and stuff like that. So I'm sure all those skills that you've gotten, like your masters, and you know, your coaching experience at Cleveland, all that combines to where you are now, and you're head coach of University of Waterloo, but you're also with Ontario basketball as well. We forgot to mention that off the top. And you're my little cousin. This is a big deal. Like you've made it to certain levels of basketball at a very fast rate. You were a guest coach too at Sacramento Kings. You know, walk me through that experience first. We have a lot to talk about in like a short amount of time, but walk me through the Sacramento. Let's get to the good stuff right now. What the Sacramento experience?
Yeah, well, so I was actually coaching Cadence during that time, but so I was with the provincial team that summer, and thankfully was able to step away for a week to join their camp, and was just like a really eye-opening experience, and I'll say a glimpse, because a week really isn't long enough, but a glimpse at what a professional organization looks like. And so, I mean, obviously, like meeting people you see on TV is really cool as well. But I think more than anything, the biggest thing for me that week was just like taking in the experience, but not being like so awestruck. Like there was so many questions I had, and like so many things I wanted to learn. And my biggest takeaway was how much we were doing, and even still do now at the university level, models what the professional level is doing. Now it's on very different budgets, I'll say. We operate on very different budgets, but the essence and the, I'll say, excellence and professionalism that we conduct ourselves at the U Sport level is quite comparable. And so that was encouraging to see, but it was also encouraging just to see how the athletes, you know, approach training sessions. And I mean, we're talking about professional athletes versus amateur athletes, but I don't think it's a far stretch for our student athletes here to strive for, and even just anyone, like, you know, you do something, you commit a lot of time to something, like why not conduct yourself in a manner that exudes excellence? And so that was remarkable to me, and something I'll remember forever.
Absolutely. And like the word trailblazer comes to mind because you were the first Canadian woman to join an NBA bench, even if it was only for a limited amount of time. But that's incredible to me because, like, you know, we see that and that just opens the door. So I would like to get your thoughts on, you know, gender equity in coaching, specifically at the professional level, but then we could also go all the way down. Just give me your thoughts. I just want open thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super, I think I'm a self-identifying feminist, but I think in order for there to be progression and equality, you need male feminists as well. And so
absolutely,
Roy Rana, who's a mentor of mine, was you know, gracious enough to invite me to this camp and give me this opportunity. But I know that I'll say in the game of basketball, I feel like we're very fortunate in that, like, I know the NBA is trying to make leaps and bounds in their inclusion and diversity models. It's something our league is cognizantly working towards as well. I still think there is a way to go, but I feel a shift in the culture in terms of, you know, organizations understanding the importance of what, like, I see diversity as a strength, you know?
Absolutely.
And so trying to make sure staffs represent diverse populations, and specifically, we need to have females coaching females. And I think we can only work towards that. And I should say, this is an opportunity for me to plug that I am hiring a full-time assistant. The posting closes tomorrow. So if you're a young aspiring female coach, please apply. But yeah, I can't stress, the importance. It's an important initiative for myself, being a benefactor of, someone giving me a chance. And so I just want to continue to promote that in women's sports.
Absolutely. And, you also, going back, had the opportunity to coach with Team Ontario, specifically at the Canada Games before with the under 17 group. How did all these opportunities collected, how did that shape your confidence now in the role that you are in, leading your own university team?
Yeah, every coaching encounter, I feel like, is just added experience. And, Carly, obviously being another mentor of mine, has afforded me numerous opportunities to showcase my coaching abilities, to fail at my coaching ability or lack thereof of coaching abilities. And I think I know those are very, very precious moments for me in my coaching journey, because without them, I have nothing to go off of. I have no evidence or proof that I feel like I know what I'm doing. And so, part of why I started or wanted to be a part of Ontario basketball was because because of the prestige of the program and the coaches that have come through it, but also being able to coach high performance athletes was something that intrigued me. So I would recommend, any coach that's trying to get their feet wet or just trying to get a real holistic experience of what U Sport level coaching is like, I would recommend coaching an OBA team in the summer, if you can, because there's not too many opportunities that mimic everything that goes into the planning and the training and the social emotional components of preparing athletes. But I mean, I'll train like little kids in the summer out in their front yard and use that as okay, we're going to use this drill in practice next week. So all of them are, and you were probably part of that too, Sav. So if I tried a new drill with you, it was something I got from my I'll call it my guinea pig group.
Okay. It's incredible to me to listen to your story and having hosted a variety of these types of events in recent history. For me, I'm noticing a pattern of it takes a mentor. It usually takes somebody who's just like you in a way. So in the sense of Carly, being a woman in this industry, in the coaching field, it took her to maybe open the door for more opportunities, which led to maybe meeting Roy Rana. I'm not sure if you knew him before, but somebody of color as well. There's so many little finite details that all accumulate into why these doors were opened. And so before we sign off here, I want to ask for your advice, almost words of encouragement that you would give to future young female coaches who are looking to pursue this as well.
Yeah, I would say, I don't think it's a matter of looking for opportunities now, because I feel like more opportunities are arising. My advice is just to put yourself out there. You're talking about visibility. Visibility is huge. I don't know if this is the first time that the NBA Canada has had a female representative on their show, but you're a trailblazer in your own right for young people in media. And so I'm sure our stories are similar in that sense, but it takes putting yourself out there. But then the other thing I'll say is just being prepared. So all the opportunities that came my way, I'm super, super fortunate. but I was prepared to take on those moments based on the experiences that I had. But if you're passionate about pursuing coaching, then coach so that you are ready when the time comes.
And don't forget to apply to your position that's open right now.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. I don't want to keep you because I know you have practice at 7, so I'm not going to have your team hold you accountable for that. But thank you and good luck with your season up ahead, of course, with Waterloo team being ready. We will be watching them when the OUA starts safely, of course, especially when you play against Ryerson. I don't know how I feel. I feel conflicted.
Via grudge match. You can cheer for your alma mater. It's okay. I won't hold it to you. But thank you, Saf.
Go Coach Jess, and then like Ryerson, go Ryerson. Okay,
yeah,
well, take care.
That's politically appropriate, I would say.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Have a great practice.
All right. Thanks, Saf.
Take care. And thank you, everybody who joined us tonight to watch. Don't forget that next week we'll be joined by Team Canada women's head coach and Ontario native, Lisa Tomaitis.